This conference will now be recorded.
I'm calling to order the emergency meeting of the Tilton Planning Board for Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. And we have one item on the agenda, and I think I can count on one hand the number of times we get involved in a driveway permit, because most of our roads are state roads, so the state department's involved. In this case, was supposed to have been the highway department. I have some pictures in front of me. This involves 11 Maple Court. And I have some pictures in front of me that I'm going to spread on the table here. This is the original driveway.
Which one's the original? That one?
These are the original driveway,
The paved ones?
the unpaved.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought so.
The reason it did not come before us was because on the application, it said they were going to merely repave, when in fact, they have reconstructed the driveway, and it is impacting a town road, the runoff is, and it's impacting an abutter because of the way it's graded. You can look at these. I'm going to pass around the original pictures first. You can see a bay window, and the driveway stops just short of the bay window. That's the completed one. This is, I don't think you have.
Was this the original, this cracked one?
That's the original.
Okay.
No,
I don't
no,
see a
that's-
bay window though.
That's Pat's.
Oh, that's somebody else's?
That's the abutter.
Oh,
Okay.
a butter.
This is the way it looked before.
A butter.
Okay.
Okay, so
These
this
two.
one. I only have one from before.
Okay, I'm gonna put.
Okay.
I just got these. I asked Pat to send me these because we didn't get these.
And there was one that I had gotten at a selectmen's meeting
Here,
that had all the gravel.
I'm gonna send these two. Okay, this is the way the old
Yeah.
driveway was,
I have this one that has gravel. No?
and here's
Yeah.
where it joined with the town road. Right there.
This is the before?
Mm-hmm.
But that, yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, I see the bay window right there.
Okay. And I think in the
Oh,
hand,
you can't even tell there's hardly a driveway there.
Cow path.
Yeah, cow path.
and what they did is they came in, they went way beyond the bay window. They dragged all the debris, broke up all the old blacktop.
Yeah.
They put in ledge pack, and then they paved it. As you can see, this is the final product.
So
That's the pave.
at what point did they apply for the permit?
The permit you have in front of you
Right here.
was
December
12/13.
And that was after they had already started
Mm-hmm.
and the gravel was put in. So,
And they did not say they were reconstructing the driveway. They said they were only repaving,
so
Yeah, it says no change to grading or width.
which is
And
not
it's
true.
completely.
yeah, so, no, I'll let you finish because you're explaining.
Okay,
Okay, so this one is after.
those two are after,
That's after. That's after.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a duplicate.
and that's after.
This is after. Oh, this is after too. Oh
And you
yeah,
can
see
see
right there. Yeah.
They did change.
Looks like they put
the
a
length.
walkway in too.
Yeah.
Right
I
there.
think,
Oh yeah, you can see it on this one.
Yep.
Right here.
If you look on this picture, on the left side,
Mhm.
there is some type of like bituminous curbing on the bottom, but on the
Oh,
right
yeah,
side,
yeah.
there is none.
Well, that's because in the old, and you can't see it from here, in the old picture, there was another piece
Oh,
of
okay.
drive there.
Yeah, I see that.
So
Okay.
now that's just a gravel.
And now
area?
it's just gravel. They dug up the blacktop and just left gravel, which further is a problem for the runoff.
And that's, yeah. it's
This
not
doesn't
graded.
look like a road apron either.
Mm-mm.
So if I can say a few words. let me know when.
Oh, you can say a few words, John.
Okay, so I just want to bring to your attention the planning board meeting of January 10th of 2023, when it was brought up that that we should decide whether or not we want to transfer the so if you look on the application, it says it must be approved by or their designee.
Correct.
Okay. On January 10th of 2023, the planning board was mentioned at the end of the meeting that at that point we should decide whether or not we would like to turn it over to the Public Works Director,
Mhm.
and that would be discussed at the next meeting. At the next meeting, it was never discussed. On planning board meetings of 6/23 of 2020, 7/28 of 2020, 8/9 of 2022, 5/25 of 2021, 10/26 of 2021, 11/23 of 2021, 3/22 of 2022, 4/26 of 2022, 6/28 of 2022, 8/9 of 2022, and 9/13 of 22. There were decisions that were made, and on those, most of those meetings, there were motions made, and we did review driveway permits.
Mhm.
So all the way up, we have been approving and reviewing driveway permits. We never gave or appointed a designee other than the planning board to
Correct.
review this. So this application was never properly given to the planning board as it should have.
Correct.
And it's
And it's not for a driveway. It's just saying it's gonna resurface what's existing
Yeah.
there.
But
So the issue.
regardless,
the issue
it's not a
now-
valid permit.
Correct.
right?
The issue now is that it's been done incorrectly, and we have to resolve it. I checked as of today, there's no
Sketch.
permit for occupancy. That has not been issued. It should not be issued, period. They are showing the house. All of that should cease and desist. And I'm not sure which direction the planning board wants to take. I can only give you my opinion, is this driveway should come up. Or at least he should hire an engineer to make recommendations for how this issue can be resolved.
So
It is impacting the town road, and it is impacting the abutter.
there are parties that are
And that is.
affected by it,
That
that's
is
improper.
definitely affected, and everything, I think, in our town policy, in state regulations say that cannot exist.
So this application for a driveway permit came to us, but isn't there a
It
driveway
did not
permit
come to
that-
us.
I mean,
It
it's
went to
ours
the
Supposed
now.
to.
It went to
Isn't
land
there
use.
the highway department that looks at these too? Or
The highway department,
I forget the division.
unless and if it's a major change like this is, although the contractor said it wasn't, but we know now that it is,
Yeah,
it would go to the highway department. It would come to us. The highway department
okay.
would get involved.
No,
An
not
example is
if
your
we
friend
ask.
on Range Road there. We,
Right,
we had the highway department involved from the very beginning in that.
yeah,
I know there was one on Test Hill Road.
Yes,
And this should never have been signed off on by anybody in land use. It should have come to us.
it had to go to the planning board.
Correct.
It says to be completed by the planning board
Correct.
or designated agent. In many of those meetings, I could go through them, we reviewed sketches and permits that were applied for driveway permits. And we specifically at the meeting asked for our DPW director to go out and take a look, take measurements, and check for draining to make if it would affect the
Unfortunately,
swale.
when this came through, there was no highway director.
So
So that was a problem number one. But instead of the land use coordinator coming to the planning board and probably going to the selectmen to get assistance because we had no highway director. That was not done.
Regardless, the highway director is completely out of the picture
Correct.
until we designate that
Correct.
person to do it. And we
Okay.
never did.
However, all of that aside, I said all of that aside, we have an issue now that we have to do something about.
My
do
thoughts
we
are
want
is
to
that they
handle
should reapply, that they should stop everything that they're doing,
Okay.
reapply for a permit, have the proper sketches, and all that, and come before us where we would follow the proper procedure and do that field visit, comments, all that.
Shouldn't we
and fill it out.
notify the person who gives the certificate of occupancy? So
See,
there's
he
a
just,
hold
oh,
on to
well,
that?
that's land, that's all through land use.
Okay,
So,
so we
so
should know.
that's what I said, we need to issue a cease and desist, which will include the occupancy
So,
permit.
so
Okay.
I had a
And
couple
everything else.
of questions.
Mhm.
Is this a single family property or a multifamily property?
Single,
And this deck wasn't on there in the old pictures either.
yes, it was,
It
the
is?
deck was on there.
So then, since it's a
was
single
a
family,
closed porch.
it's my
It
understanding
was in a
that there
closed
is
porch.
no certificate of occupancy.
That's what I've been told. There's no CO yet.
No, it's my understanding is certificate of occupancy is not a requirement for single family
Is that
dwellings.
true, Catherine?
No,
It's not?
no, the building code inspector
That's who it is,
gives
building.
certificate of occupancy, all
Yeah.
are majorly remodeled.
And is the fire department involved as that? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I am incorrect then.
This was in a closed porch.
And
I
so
know
is
this
this
room.
single
Okay.
page the entire application that was submitted? There was no site plan or sketches or anything like
No,
that we
not
have?
for the
Nothing.
driveway. And that's what we have to have. We would not have had to have a site plan for the house, but we would have had to have had a site plan for the driveway. Okay? Yes.
There was a picture
Do you want microphone?
submitted with the application originally on 12/13.
But the picture was a completed picture.
That's correct, but
Oh,
but
this
Nate is
one?
asking if there was any diagram or anything submitted with, is it just that one page? And it's not just the one page. it's
I don't
the
know what,
Picture
which one?
with the ledge pack.
It's
With the ledge pad?
yeah.
Okay, this one?
Oh, the pre-paving picture?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because it does look like they definitely extended the length.
Yeah.
And then it
And the
seems
width.
like they're not using that side portion, or they did
Yeah.
not repave that side portion.
All right, is everybody in agreement with a cease and desist for everything being done there? A new application for a driveway
Yep.
and a presentation to the planning board of a site plan for the
Driveway
driveway.
permit,
Driveway
Yeah.
permit.
sketch your drawing.
Well, that's what
And-
new application means, new application driveway
And
permit.
then do we have to notify the highway? Because they did a huge difference compared to what?
Highway was not involved, they will be this time.
Are we talking about state highway or are we talking
It's a
about?
town road.
Okay, so
That's what I said, we don't often get involved in them. I can probably count on 6 fingers the numbers of times we have, because most of our roads are state roads.
Right. So I just wanted to be sure we weren't referring to
No,
the
no.
town highway department versus the state highway department.
Anything else we want to add other than those 3 things?
How soon does this get to these people?
Immediately, I would say.
It's sent out tomorrow.
So I'm gonna write as
Is there
of
any
12,
public-
as of 2/21. Okay, the following must be done. No later than 12/22, 2/22. Is that agreeable to everybody?
That's tomorrow, yeah, 2/22.
All right, can I have that in the form of a motion?
So they have to implement the changes by tomorrow?
No. They have to cease and
Okay,
desist.
okay.
They have to come in with a new application, this, for a driveway permit. And then they have to make a presentation to the planning board with what they intend to do in terms of drainage and correct the problems that exist now, which is what they're gonna have to do.
Would it make sense for us to do, so would we do a site visit after that presentation?
Once the application is submitted to us, we can decide we
can.
want to do
Yeah.
a site visit.
Okay, because it does say that a field visit is required.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if it would make
Well,
sense
that's
for us
either us
to.
or a designee, and if we had a highway director, that's the person we would usually designate.
Okay,
to
the
go
town
do it.
highway, okay,
Because I don't know any, I am not an engineer and you are not a civil engineer, are you?
correct,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, all these,
Can you wait a minute
all these conditions are listed on the application
on the
as
back
well.
of the application?
And
None
on
of
the
them were
front,
done.
general
And
conditions,
nothing was done,
directions.
correct,
Not one.
because he said he was only going to repave it. Okay.
And
Or even
I
if-
would argue that the not obstruct natural flow of water runoff,
Yep.
you know, that definitely didn't happen. Therefore, even if
It did.
things had been done properly, application process wise, the implementation is not up to standards, which is why there needs to be a redesign.
I believe that the abutter was told that a berm would be placed somewhere along
The property line.
where the old driveway, the old part that wasn't repaved was. That won't do a bit of good.
So that's the whole reason why we have to have sketches, drawings,
Exactly.
site visits and all that. So these
Exactly.
things don't happen. And I'm also concerned if there are any other driveway applications that are out there that we should be reviewing. But we're still on this
Well,
one.
we'll
I don't
deal
want
with
to
this
get off
right
track.
now and then
Thanks.
that's something we have to
Well,
follow
maybe
up.
part of the minutes, it should say
Yes.
that
That-
every
that-
driveway permit comes
Every
to the
time it
planning
should come to
board.
the planning board.
Okay.
So I feel like is that something we could pass as a separate motion?
We don't need
after?
to.
No, we
It's
don't need to,
required.
that's required. That's
But they
already
didn't do it.
required, it just
Okay.
hasn't
Yeah.
been done.
Mm.
Okay? It's been done in some cases, but in most cases,
All the way up until January 23rd of 2023, I had seen it. I haven't seen one last year. I didn't know if there were any, so we might have other
I know the only
things out there.
the ones that I know of were state roads, like there was one on Winter Street. There were two, I think, on Winter Street, that's a state road.
And
And,
they have to get
you
there
know,
through the state.
I do think we did have one out on Ashalot, I believe.
So that was in
We
one of the
had-
ones
and
I
they did
read.
come in here.
Yeah.
They came in, that was the landscape company that took over the nursery that was out there. They did come in with a driveway permit, and they had one driveway on town road and one on the state road, and they did come in. Before we make the motion, I'm gonna turn to the audience. Would you identify yourself and give your address, please?
Do you want microphone?
You want a microphone?
We won't be able to hear
Well, we won't be able to hear you, so
Yeah, no,
if you come,
she should come up to the podium, I think.
go to the podium, please, Kim.
Bless you.
Kim Souls, 7 Maple Court. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I would like to ask if it is possible for the abutters to be notified when this happens and for the abutters to be present when they're talking, for the site visit, that's what it's called.
The abutters will be notified,
Mhm.
and you can come, you can be present,
Perfect,
okay?
thank you.
Add that to this bullet here.
Well, that's always happens. It'll be on record.
I can even see.
Did you want to say something?
I was gonna ask the same question.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a lot more to add, but I think we'll find out in the
Yeah.
proceedings.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes,
Are you taking public comment?
yes, I am.
Chuck Mitchell, town resident. I understand that there has been some drainage issues already off that property running onto an abutter's property, and I'm wondering if something can be done as part of your immediate solution there in order to try to get the landowner to make some prevent get some steps with before the next amounts of precipitation come along to prevent that from reoccurring onto the abutter's property.
That's a good point. 'Cause
That's a
don't we
good
have
point,
snow
Chuck, and
coming?
thank you. I will check with land use to see if they can notify them that they have to put some form, like sandbags or something like that to, divert the water from coming onto the neighbor's property. Thank you for that, Chuck.
Anybody else?
Anybody else have anything?
I'm
Didn't
not
even
sure.
show his name on there. That's
I'm
weird.
not sure how you do that.
Do what?
So it lists anybody that's on there.
Usually
Well,
their
it
names.
usually
It
shows
says
up, but
here
I
that
can,
there are 3 people on.
yeah, I can't, is there anyone else in the audience? We usually get your names and some indication, but we're not.
No, here we go. IT.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, now we
Whew.
go.
Unknown.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes,
I was thinking about what Mitchell had said, and the use of some type of diversion to water off, but where it directly drains either onto 7 Maple Court or the town property, I think it's going to be very difficult to figure out without them blocking them from getting onto their property.
I was gonna
Oh, you
say,
can?
if
Without
you,
flagging them?
if you put the sandbags, I don't think that would keep them from,
Doesn't have to be too tall. Could, you know,
no,
you-
it's very,
Couple
Down
inch.
and drive over it like in a truck. I don't know if I'd drive over it in a
Car.
a
Yeah.
mini Cooper.
drive over sandbags.
the main concern is that one side of the drive where it just pours right down.
So
Hmm.
if we have runoff,
Holy crap.
yeah, if we have runoff this weekend, and being
Yeah.
below temperatures,
It's gonna
DPW's gonna have to go up there, put some salt down.
Well, DPW does put salt down.
Oh, they have been going up there?
They do that.
Yeah, but even for the runoff though, Jane, do they go up there?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing, only things like sandbags.
The original driveway, although
This is
it might have
what's
been
under.
old,
Text
Oh
him.
my God.
was constructed, when you look at it, the original driveway was constructed that the flow of water came to the left-hand side, came to the top of the asphalt and ran down the left-hand side of Maple Court.
A ditch line.
Eventually came to a drain at the bottom of the hill,
Okay.
at the bottom of the hill. Now it just comes directly down, flows onto
Trunk,
vehicle, my driveway, and into my cellar.
yeah.
And, or down the main road, the middle of Maple Court. I have lots of videos in the torrential downpours. That it comes down the main road, Maple Court, and then it diverts onto the main lawn, my lawn, across my driveway. We've lived there for, well, Kim, 41 years, me 40, and it's never done that, ever.
I mean, it does look like they could do sandbags or something
You know,
above the wall and then run it past the corner of their driveway. And so they could still get up the driveway on the southern side, but the water would be diverted onto the street and then onto the southern side where the stone wall is.
so I don't think we're like it's our purview to tell them how to do it, just what the result needs to be.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it looks like they should be able to come up with something, and I would argue that preventing damage to the abutter is more of a priority than, preventing damage to the town road,
Except that it turns the road into ice, and every time the DPW department has to load up a truck and send it by somebody out there with sand and salt,
Well, they come regularly anyway.
or the
because
town is in trouble
yeah.
for,
I
on
mean,
hook for any
it is
accidents.
a dead end road though, so it's
Public road.
right, but it's the idea of it's not as, they wouldn't have to do it as often as if it was a more traveled,
Well, they do
two-lane
it,
road.
they do it regularly as it is, and they did before this was done. So I think they've maintained, I can't complain about anything the highway department's done on that road. I think they've been very conscientious in making sure that it's passable. But it's the water that's just continuing to come down now. Christine, are you ready to make
Yep.
a motion?
I'm going to make a motion that as of today for 11 Maple Court map U06 lot 38, the following must be done no later than February 22nd, 2024. Immediate cease and desist. A new driveway application needs to be completed and also presented to the planning board. And then immediate steps need to be taken, whether it's sandbags or whatnot, to prevent the runoff going into abutters.
You want to say anything, occupancy permit, or?
Oh, yeah,
I think that's all permits.
building this.
Okay, you might want to add that then.
And report to the building inspector in regards to the certificate of occupancy with this issue.
So you're going to allow it to be issued, occupancy permit?
No
So
occupancy issues.
you want to make
Yeah,
sure you say that.
No occupancy.
No occupancy certificate to be issued till resolution is done.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh.
If we need to find out, on another note, if there's any other driveway permits that may need to be reviewed to rectify any situations before they get
Like this.
out of hand after that in the past. I know up until at least January 10th, we were receiving them. And I don't know what happened all from January
Yeah.
10th of 2023 on.
All right, is there any other business? It's not a regular meeting, this is just an emergency meeting to settle this, so if there's no other pressing business.
Maybe we should also notify Paul, the town administrator, because this says.
He gets copies of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He thought it was okay.
Next, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you.
Maybe the accounting too?
Yeah, thanks.
Does that satisfy you, Miss? Can we turn off Tim?
Yeah, give me 1 second to.
Let's see.
Got everything off?
That's it.
Got it?